Okay, good Friday morning. My name is Ellen. Welcome to Friday Flow. This is our yoga inspired workout. We are going to start seated. Here we are, another Friday morning. But what's different about this Friday is that it is now officially fall season. And as you guys probably know, that makes me very excited. So I went to Trader Joe's and got all my pumpkin stuff. Jim thinks I am insane, but you know, you get the pumpkin bagels, the pumpkin muffins. So if you guys are also into the pumpkin stuff, type in the chat box, let me know what your favorite pumpkin item is. I'd love to hear. All right, so we're gonna start in a nice comfortable seated position. So as you see, I'm seated on my block. It just helps to open up my hips a little bit. Choose what works for you. We're just gonna start with some shoulder rolls. So again, if you are new, welcome to my class. If you haven't been in a while, or if you come every week, as always, feel free to take this workout at your own pace and do whatever modifications you need to. We're gonna work on a little bit of balance today. So sort of building off what we did last week. So let's do a couple more really big shoulder rolls. Maybe this is the first time you have moved this morning. And we're gonna do one more big shoulder roll. All the way up, down, and back. Okay, so now we're gonna create circles with our torso and upper body. Place your hands on your knees or on the sides of your mat. And we're gonna circle towards one direction here, just starting to warm up the body. So as you inhale, I want you to sort of bring your chest forward. And as you exhale, you sort of round the back. Okay. So just making circles here with the upper body and torso. Nice and easy. We'll do two more in this direction. Inhale and exhale. Now we're gonna reverse those circles. Inhale, other direction, and then exhale. Imagine sort of pulling those abs in towards your spine as you come back and sort of round the back and spine there. Inhale and exhale. We'll do two more in each direction. Just starting to warm up the body. We'll start sort of low intensity and then eventually build up that heat throughout the body this morning. Okay, so now we come into our seated cat-cow. Hands on our knees here. And as we inhale, we're gonna lift up through the chest, pull our shoulders down and back. And then as we exhale, we're gonna come back into that rounded spine. So drawing that navel in towards your spine here. And then just going through this a couple times. Inhale, just like a regular cat-cow. Exhale, but in a seated position. If you wanna take it up a notch, maybe those hands come behind you. Maybe you take your head back on that inhale as you open your heart and your chest to the sky, and then exhale, round it back in. So let's go through this a couple more times. Inhale, keep moving, and exhale. So nice big stretch here. Inhale, opening up through the heart and the chest. Exhale, really rounding that spine, and we'll do this just one more time. Inhale, and exhale. Okay, coming back to the center, we're gonna do a nice side stretch and spinal twist. We'll start with the stretch first. So we're gonna flip up that right palm, inhale, and exhale, reach over. So we're gonna hold for a couple of breaths. I want you to think of grounding down through your hips. And as you exhale, maybe reaching an inch more to the side. We'll take this one more breath here. Inhale, let's come back to the center. Exhale, let's flip that left palm and reach up and over. Grounding down through that left hip to find a little bit more length on the side body. Taking a few breaths here. One more breath. Inhale, come back to the center, and exhale, just kind of shake it out. So now into a spinal rotation. Both arms are going to reach up as we inhale. And as we exhale, let's go over to the left. So those arms come down. We'll do it a couple times. So maybe the first time you're Shoulders are a little tight. We're actually going to hang out here for a few breaths. I want you to first find length in your spine, sitting up as tall as you can. And then as you exhale, start to add in a little bit of a twist over that left shoulder. Imagine that piece of string on the top of your head, and it's pulling you up a little bit higher. One more breath. Inhale, we bring those arms back up as we rotate and twist from the torso here, and then exhale, we float those arms down. Now looking over our right shoulder. And finding length in the spine first. And then as you exhale, start to add a little twist. So one more breath here, and then we'll flow through a little bit faster, or really at whatever speed you'd like. So inhale, arms come up. We'll do it a few more times, and exhale. So really taking your time, or maybe you're ready to go a little bit faster, so just going at your own pace here. Inhale and exhale. If you're not sure, you can just follow along with me. Inhale, exhale. So keep moving. I'm just going to adjust my seated position. On my shins feels a little bit better for my hips. So we'll do it one more time on each side. Inhale and exhale. So one last time. Remember, nice and tall on that inhale. And exhale, twisting. Okay, inhale, those arms come up. And then exhale, rotate those hands down. I want you now to squeeze your shoulder blades together, maybe interlacing your fingers behind you. Continue to squeeze the shoulder blades together, open up through the chest, the shoulders, maybe taking that head back. Especially if you sit at your desk all day. So big stretch here, one more breath. And then go ahead and release it. We'll just do the opposite stretch before I shift into a tabletop. Interlace your fingers in front of you. Inhale, exhale, you're gonna flip your palms away from you, push towards me. And I want you now to press your shoulder blades apart from one another. So draw that navel in towards your spine, take your chin down. One more breath here. Imagine me sort of pulling on your wrists. And then go ahead and release, shake it out. Okay, let's go ahead and find a nice tabletop position. So tabletop is where our hands are positioned right underneath our wrists. Our shoulders, not our wrists. Knees are right underneath our hips. Okay, so nice neutral spine, and we're gonna find a cat-cow. So just like we did seated, so as you inhale, you're gonna drop that belly to the floor, your chest and head lift, and then exhale, you draw that navel in, you round the spine, tuck your chin into your chest. And then we repeat, inhale and exhale. So cycling through this at your own speed and pace. This morning, feel free to maybe add in a couple circles here. Just warming up the back. Maybe turn a little bit to the side. Make it your own. And then we'll do one more cycle here. Inhale and exhale. Okay, so now we're gonna lower down to what we call puppy pose. You're gonna keep your hips stacked on top of your knees. You're just gonna lower down to your forearms. You're gonna try and lower your forehead to the floor. Keep those hips nice and high. So not a full downward facing dog just yet, but your puppy. And then we're gonna slowly come up. Just gonna have you guys shift your arms a little bit further forward. We're gonna go ahead and drop our hips to the floor. So stay on your forearms here. Begin to walk your hands out just a little bit so they're right in line with those shoulders. And I'm just gonna lift up, keeping those shoulders down, stretching through the low back, upper back. So sort of like a baby cobra, but a mini version of it. So holding here for 2 more breaths. That bothers your shoulders, you can just take them out to the side and maybe just lift up an inch or 2. And then we're gonna go ahead and shift those hips back up and do puppy one more time. So press into the floor, pull those abs in, shift your hips back on top of your knees here, down on your forearms, forehead to the floor, and hold that puppy. Feeling the stretch in the back, the shoulders, the hips, maybe a little bit everywhere. And inhale, come on up. Bring your arms a little bit closer to the top of the mat and then slowly drop those hips to the floor. So holding here for a few breaths, modify as you need to. It's always important to listen to your body and that it really does feel different every day. So not to be discouraged if you're feeling a little bit more stiff than yesterday, but rather working through that, continuing to take deep breaths. And then slowly lift those hips back up, nice and slow. We're gonna come back to that tabletop, so back up to our hands. So now we're gonna find a child's pose. We're gonna bring those knees nice and wide, toes together. You're gonna sit way back into those heels. So you feel this a little more on that lower back, taking your forehead to the mat. Take a couple of breaths, and then we're gonna really start to generate some heat in the body by getting our flow and our movement going. So child's pose is also a great pose to come to anytime you need just a little breather or a little break. So one more breath here. And then we'll slowly shift our weight up. Let's take our hands a little bit closer to the top of our mat. We're gonna tuck those toes under, taking an inhale. Exhale, here's our downward facing dog. So lift your hips up and back. Go ahead and pedal out those heels here if you need to. Taking a few breaths. While you're here, relax your shoulders away from your ears. Hold that. I know that might sound a little weird, the down dog position. You might not know it, but shoulders are probably going up to those ears, so relax your shoulders in your down dog. Press your chest towards your thighs, right? Lift those hips way up. Also relax your head here. So continue to hold that down dog. Every now and again, I might turn my head to look at you guys, but just relax your head completely in this down dog. Option is doing it on your knees or just a child's pose. So let's find one more breath in this down dog. Pressing down through those heels. And then inhale. We're gonna bend those knees and slowly walk our feet up to our hands. So you can come up to your fingertips if you need to. We're gonna find the top of our mat and come into a nice forward fold. So we're gonna hang out here for about 2 more breaths, just letting everything go here. And as we inhale, we're gonna reach those arms all the way up, nice and tall. We're gonna bring those hands together to prayer, and then exhale, we're gonna lower them down to heart center. So we're gonna get started, get nice and warm here. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, you're gonna swan dive forward. So it just means leaning forward with the chest, all the way down. Inhale, we wanna lift up halfway. You're gonna create a nice flat back surface. So we're drawing those abs in towards our spine. We're pulling our shoulder blades together and our legs are straight. And then exhale, we're gonna slowly lower back down. Step out with that right foot. Lower your right knee to the floor. Untuck that toe, lift your chest up, low lunge. Inhale, brings those arms up. Exhale, we're gonna hold them right here. So nice low lunge. We're stretching out through that hip flexor. We're gonna hold for a few breaths. So try to keep those arms up. Always have an option to bring those arms down, to relax those shoulders a bit. So I want you to go ahead and tuck those hips under and draw your navel in towards your spine. Stitch that rib cage together. Turn on those core muscles. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, we're gonna bring our hands inside of that foot. So what I want you to do is sort of open up through that hip and rotate that front foot out just a little bit. So hands are now inside. We're just gonna hold here, really get nice stretch into those hips. Maybe you move a little bit from side to side. Maybe you use a block. Do just a couple more breaths here. Just really getting into those hips. I feel like hips are always tight, right? No matter what we do. All right, so go ahead and bring that foot back in, turn it back in. We're gonna go ahead and now tuck our back toe under. Okay, we're gonna lift that knee off the floor. We're gonna step our front foot back and find that downward facing dog. So our floor sequence, inhale, we're gonna come to a nice strong plank. You're gonna float forward and stack your hips right on top of stack your shoulders right on top of your wrists. Hips are slightly lower than your shoulders. Once you draw that belly button in towards your spine. Keep your neck long. Option is lowering those knees to the floor. We're gonna hold for a few more breaths. I really want you to turn on those core muscles, okay? So think of wearing a tight pair of pants. Tuck your hips under a little bit more. One more breath. Inhale here, exhale, lower your knees, lower your chest. Your elbows go straight back. Flatten those toes, inhale, lift, baby cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, down and back, down dog. So hold this here. You should already start to feel your body get a little bit warmer. We'll do our low lunge on the other side. So first, inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, walk those feet to the top. Forward fold. Inhale, reach those arms up, come up to standing. Palms come together, maybe you lean back a little bit there. Exhale, lower those hands down. So same thing with that left leg. Inhale up, exhale, float it down. Inhale, we find that halfway lift. Hands come to our knees or our shins. Create a nice flat back. Pressing through those heels, legs are nice and straight. Inhale here, exhale, lower. This time we step our left foot back. Lower to your left knee, untuck that toe. Maybe have a block or a towel handy. Lift the chest up, we're gonna find low lunge. Inhale, arms come up, exhale, hold. So hold it right here, now just stretching through that other hip. Hands can also be down in front of your chest. For those shoulders, just an option there. So while you're here, I want you to go ahead and tuck your hips under. Engage that back glute muscle a little bit so we don't dump all of our weight into our low back. Okay. One more breath, then we're gonna get into those hips a little bit more. So inhale, lift, exhale, take your hands inside of your leg. Okay. So now it's our other foot. We're gonna open and rotate that foot open. Make sure you're rotating, opening from the hips, hands on the floor or on a block. I'm just going to sort of move side to side here, getting into those hips a little bit more. Maybe you can lower to your forearms. I know I can't. My hips are a little too tight for that, but feel free to do so. Just getting into that hip joint. Maybe one more breath here, and then we'll step it back to that downward facing dog. So bring that foot back in, turn it forward, take your hands on the side here. We're gonna tuck that back toe, lift our knee off the floor, and step on back to downward facing dog. Inhale, we come forward to that plank. So I want you to think of lifting off the mat when you're here, rather than feeling like you're sinking into the mat, okay? So if you're lifting off the mat, strong plank, exhale, knees lower, and the chest comes down. Elbows go straight back. Inhale, baby cobra, we lift. Exhale, tuck the toes, down and back. Down dog. So hold your down dog or child's pose. So each time you come to the floor, you have the option to go through that sequence. You can also just take a child's pose if you like. Maybe you add an extra push-up in there for an extra challenge. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, walk or jump. Maybe you're ready to hop the top of your mat, forward fold. Now we're gonna really get moving. Inhale, reach those arms up. Palms come together and exhale. I'm gonna go through a couple warrior poses. Now that we're nice and warm and hips are opened up. Inhale up, exhale, float it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Also move just a tiny bit faster. Exhale, lower. So we're gonna step our right leg back, find a warrior one. Medium step back. Glue that heel into the floor, lift the chest. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hold. Good job, guys. So we're gonna practice our triangle pose, like we did, I believe, 2 weeks ago. Last week too. So just look down, make sure that front knee is right on top of that toe. Your hips are squared off towards the front. One more breath in this warrior one. Inhale, we're gonna straighten that front leg. Exhale, those arms are gonna float down, just like in our seated spinal twist. Inhale, you're gonna reach forward. Your hips go back in the opposite direction. And as we exhale, we're gonna lower down to find a triangle. So maybe you start right at your knee and then start to open up. Take your gaze up at that hand and try to stack your wrist on top of your shoulder. That front knee can have a small bend in it. So I'll give you a couple of breaths to get into this first triangle pose. You also have the option of using a block, or like we've done before, maybe you do it against the wall if you have space. So torso twist, twisting from the waist, from the shoulder. Try to keep those legs straight. Let's hold for one more breath. Inhale, push into that back foot. And exhale, release. Good, hands come to prayer. Inhale here, exhale, let's open right up to that warrior two. So you're gonna open up from that right hip. The back leg opens up. And this is a much wider stance. So you wanna get nice and low. Front knee bent, back leg straight. Shoulders up, and then exhale, bring the shoulders down. Gaze is over that front middle finger. One more breath. Inhale, flip that palm. Exhale, take it back to reverse. Your warrior. Peaceful warrior, take your gaze up at your hand. One more breath, so big side stretch. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, take that back heel off the floor. We're gonna cartwheel those hands down. Take them on either side of your foot for this nice little lunge, just for a second, and then step that foot back. Downward facing dog. Here's that for sequence. Inhale forward to your plank. Head is up. Exhale, lower knees and chest. Chaturanga. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, tuck the toes. Down and back. Down dog. So hold your down dog. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay? So down dog or child's pose. One more breath. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, walk, hop, reach up to the top of your mat. I just switch sides so you guys can see me open up towards you. You can stay right where you're at. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, palms come together, and we lower. So now our left leg. Inhale, up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Really pulling those shoulder blades together. Exhale, down. We step back, left foot, warrior one. Heel presses into the floor. Stitching that rib cage together. Inhale, arms up, exhale, hold. So really important here to turn on those core muscles, tuck your hips under, and stitch that rib cage together. So arms up, lift down that front leg, knee is slightly bent, the back leg is nice and straight. So one more breath and then triangle. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, let those arms float down. Inhale, reach towards your front toe while your hip goes back in the opposite direction. Exhale, we lower that front arm. Our back arm reaches up. Taking a few breaths to find your triangle. Stacking that wrist and hand on top of your shoulder and try to take your gaze up at your hand. So this is a big twisting pose. We're gonna feel the legs, of course, but also a big twist here. So you can bend that front knee a little bit, use a block, fall back into the wall. Hold for a few more breaths. Let me just take a look. Make sure you guys are breathing. Perfect. Maybe try to take your gaze up at your hand to challenge your balance. Very good. One more breath, you guys look great. Inhale, slowly press into that back foot. Use those core muscles, pull yourself up. Exhale, release. We're gonna go right into warrior two, hands come to prayer. Inhale, open up that hip, and exhale, take those hands out. So back leg is nice and straight, our hips are low. Our gaze is over that front middle finger. Inhale, shoulders up, exhale, draw your shoulders down. So these are called warrior poses because they're really strong. So if I were to come over to your house and press your arms down in this pose, you would not let me. So that's how strong your arms are. Keep that tension in the body here. One more breath. Inhale, flip that front palm. Exhale, take it back to reverse your warrior. Take your gaze up at that hand. Nice side body stretch here. One more breath, big reach. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, that back heel pops off the floor as we just rotate and cartwheel those hands down. Take them down on either side of that foot and we step right back to downward facing dog. Going through this sequence again. Inhale forward to your plank. If you want it harder, exhale, you lower without lowering those knees for that full chaturanga. And inhale, you come forward and up into upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold right there. Or child's pose, whatever you'd like to do. So we're just gonna add on a couple layers for our next round and go through it a little bit faster. So feel free to slow it down if you need to. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, walk or hop to the tap, forward fold. Inhale, reaches those arms up. Maybe we lean back. Exhale, our palms come together. Lower down to heart center. Okay, is everyone good so far? Thumbs up. We're good? Okay, excellent. We're going to take a little breather, water if you need to, whenever you're ready, whenever you need to do it. Otherwise, we're going to keep going. Inhale up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower. Go ahead and step that right foot back, warrior one. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, hold. So hold this warrior one. We're gonna go right into that triangle pose, but this time a little bit faster, okay? So one more breath in that warrior one. Inhale, straighten those arms. Exhale, arms come down. Inhale forward, get ready for that triangle pose. Exhale, lower that front arm, extend that back arm up. So this time, if your hand is against your foot or your ankle, I want you to challenge yourself and take that bottom hand away. So you're really just using your core, right? So that's an extra challenge here. Ooh, it's a lot harder. Maybe just try it for a breath. One more breath here in this triangle. Inhale, press into that back foot. And exhale, come up. Inhale, hands come to prayer. Exhale, bigger step back and find that warrior two. So we're gonna get ready for our balance. So warrior two, nice and strong. Inhale, flip that palm. Exhale, take it back, reverse your warrior. So same sequence, moving through it a little bit faster, and we're gonna add on at the end here. One more breath. Inhale, come back to that warrior two. Exhale, hold. So we're gonna lift that back heel off the floor again. We've done this before. That back arm is also gonna swing around to meet the front arm. So now we're in a high crescent lunge. Arms come up, inhale, palms come together, exhale, find your lowest lunge. Now option, you can bring that back knee to the floor like we did earlier. Shoulders down, chest up. I want you to think of straightening that back leg as much as you can, pressing through that heel. One more breath. Inhale, we lower that chest to our thigh. Exhale, we're gonna push off that back foot and find a balance here. So we're gonna lift that back leg off the floor. You're gonna try and keep it as straight as you can. So maybe just start with a few inches. Standing leg, slightly bent. I want you to keep your hands at your chest, okay? Just so that we keep our back nice and flat. So I don't want you to reach for the floor. Keep your hands at your chest. So here we're gonna hang out for a couple breaths. So maybe you're ready to lift that leg a little bit higher, find a full warrior three. So maybe you extend your arms straight out. Maybe you hold onto the wall. Let's try about 3 more breaths. I want you to press through that back heel. You got it, guys. And if you fall out of it, just come right back into it. This one is really tricky, I know. Keep your back flat. One more breath. So maybe it's just lifted a few inches off the floor. Inhale, let's step back to that high lunge. I know this part is hard. Exhale, let's take those hands down. We're gonna add on one more layer. So lower that knee to the floor first. We're gonna add a twist here, okay? So if your left foot is in front, I want you to reach and twist with your left arm. So you're twisting towards the direction that your front leg is in. Hold this here. You can also use a block. Now make sure your knee is still on top of your toe, so even while you're twisting, we're not moving that knee around. So big twist, maybe the hand comes to the hip instead of extending all the way up. One more breath. And then inhale, bring that hand back down. Exhale, we're gonna tuck that back toe, lift our knee off the floor, and step back to down dog. So of course you could find a child's pose, right? If you need a breather. If not, follow me. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or upper facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes. Down and back, hold that right there. Down dog or child's pose. And again, just do what you can. Listen to your body. But if you're feeling up for it, definitely challenge yourself, right? One more breath. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, walk, jump or hop to the front, forward fold. Take an extra breath here, letting it go. Inhale, reaches those arms up. Good deep breath, palms come together. Exhale. Okay, same thing on the left side. You guys are doing great. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower. Warrior one, left foot, step it on back. Reach those arms up, inhale. Exhale, hold. So we're gonna go through just a little bit faster. One more breath, that warrior one, and then we find triangle. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, those arms float down. Inhale, reach forward as your hips go in the opposite direction. Exhale, find that triangle. Or maybe go up against the wall. Hold that right there. I'll just show you. You're a couple inches from the wall. I just want to sort of fall back into it. So it really opens up your whole body since you can fall back into something, right? With the wall. So that extra challenge, move that bottom hand away from your leg and just use your core to hold yourself up. Take your gaze up at that hand, stack it right on top of that shoulder. Can you get your legs a little bit straighter? One more breath, guys, you look great. Push into that back foot. Inhale, pull yourself up. Ooh, exhale, relax for a moment. Warrior two, hands come to prayer. At your chest, inhale, and then exhale. We just open right up to warrior two. Open up through that hip, and then the knee and the ankle turn out. Nice and strong here. Front knee, check on it. Make sure it's right on top of those toes. Get a little bit lower. Shoulders down. Inhale, flip that palm. Exhale, reach back. Peaceful warrior. Taking your gaze up at your hand. Big side stretch here. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, hold. So now we're gonna get ready to rotate to face the other direction for that balance pose. Inhale, take that back heel off the floor. Exhale, bring that back arm to meet your front arm. So that everything is facing the front there. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms come together, down to heart center, and now we're in that high lunge. Okay, so you can make this harder by having your feet further apart, or modification, bring your feet a little closer to one another. Okay, so I'm doing the modification. My hips are just really tight on this side. Okay, so one more breath. Inhale, keep your back flat. Lower your chest to your thigh, straighten out that back leg, push off that back foot, and just start by lifting that back leg a few inches. Feel free to use the wall or a bookshelf to help you with this. Now, if you're good, you've been practicing this a lot, you can go right into that full warrior three. Extend that leg up, extend those arms straight out. So hold it for a couple of breaths. Remember, the key is pressing through that back heel. Just gonna come check you guys out. Looking good. So if you fall out of it, get right back into it. Nice. Ooh, you guys look so good. Nice straight back leg. Tuck those hips under. Try to hold it for one more breath. And then inhale, step that foot back. Hardest part, come back to that high lunge. Exhale, hands come down. So now we're gonna twist to the other direction. First, lower that back knee. Press into that hand in the front. Exhale, extend that other arm up. So whichever foot is in front, it's that same arm that is extending up. For me, it's my right side. Hand can come to hip. Maybe you're just opening through the shoulders. Hold it for a couple more breaths. Big twist, watch that front knee. One more breath. And then inhale, take that hand back down. Great job. Exhale, tuck the toe, down dog. Go through this, or of course, you can just find that child's pose. So inhale forward to a nice high plank. Exhale, lower knees and chest. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, tuck the toes. Down and back. You guys look great. Hold that there. So we're gonna go through it one more time, but just practicing our balance pose, okay? So you get one more chance to do it, and then we'll be done. So holding your down dog, or holding your child's pose for one more breath. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk or jump to the top, find that nice forward fold. So one more chance to practice. Inhale, reach those arms up. Palms come together, exhale. Here we go, inhale up. Let's keep the heart rate up, keep that blood flowing. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower. So let's go right into that warrior two with our right foot. So big step back. Cartwheel those arms. Right, left. Right into this warrior two. Remember tucking those hips under, pulling those abs in. Inhale, flip that palm. Exhale, take it back. Peaceful warrior. Can you reach an inch further this time? One more breath. Inhale, come back to that warrior two. Exhale, hold. Inhale, take that heel off the floor. Bring that back arm to meet your right arm. Inhale up. Exhale, palms come together. Lower into that lunge, just for a breath. Inhale, lower your chest. Exhale, push off that back foot. Find your balance. Once you squeeze your shoulder blades together. Once you straighten out your back leg, straighten that knee, press through your heel. Can you get your leg a little bit higher? So hold on this for a couple of breaths. So maybe practice this time lifting your leg a little higher. Holding onto the wall if you need to. Maybe this time you extend those arms straight out. Maybe you're ready for a half moon, a lot more advanced, where you stack those hips. You lower that front arm, and that top arm comes up. So whatever you'd like to do here for about 3 more breaths. You guys got this. Ooh, nice. Good, lift that leg a little higher. If you're trying that half moon, can you point your toe? You guys got it. If you fall out of it, get back into it. One more breath. Inhale, big step back. Takes us to that high lunge. Exhale, hands come down. So extra challenge here. As we go into our twist, we keep that knee off the floor. So just an option, reach and twist. So I have my knee off the floor, keeping the hips low. Of course, you can lower back down to that knee. Hold this here. One more breath. Inhale, hand comes back down. Exhale, down dog. We are almost done, guys. Inhale, forward to that plank. Exhale, lower knees and chest. Or maybe just a child's pose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down dog. Hold that there. One more breath, and then one more time on the left side. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk or jump. Forward fold. Inhale, reach those arms up. Palms come together. Lower. Here we go, guys. Inhale up. Exhale, float it down. We're almost done. Halfway lift. And exhale. So step right to warrior two with that left leg. Big, big step back. Open up through the hips. Cartwheel those arms. And then find that nice warrior two. Lowest point. Make sure you're breathing, guys. Big deep breaths. One more. Nice and low. Back leg super straight. Inhale, flip that palm. Exhale. Reverse your warrior. Take your gaze up at your palm. Can you reach another inch? And then inhale, come back to that warrior two, exhale, hold. We lift that back heel off the floor. Back arm meets the front. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms come together, down to the chest. Inhale, we lower our chest to that thigh. And exhale, we push off that back foot. And holding it here. So I want you to straighten your leg. So if you can see yourself in the screen, take a look. If that back knee is bent and that back leg, I want you to straighten it. Hold it here, guys. Several breaths. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Maybe you're lifting your leg a little higher. Maybe you have the arms. If you fall out of it, get back into it. I know this is tricky. Use the wall. Yep. Maybe you're ready for that half moon. You just stack the hips. Front arm lowers, top arm stacks. Remember, always a slight bend in that standing leg. 2 more breaths wherever you are at. Tuck those hips under. Lift away from the mat, not sinking into it. 1 more breath. And then inhale, we step back, woo, into that lunge. Exhale, those hands come down. Try to keep your hips low and try to keep that knee off the floor. Inhale, pressing that hand into the floor. Exhale, we twist. For me, it's to the right. Maybe you lower to that knee, but try the extra challenge of keeping that knee off the floor, but keep your hips low. Watch that front knee. 1 more breath. Good. Inhale. So it's a twist from the waist. Good job, guys. Exhale, take it back. This is our last one. Down dog. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Everyone, child's pose. Whew. Take a couple of deep breaths here. So hopefully your heart rate got up just a little bit. So we're going to take a couple of deep breaths to lower that down. Big inhale, big exhale. While you're here in that child's pose, walk those hands over to the left diagonal. Feeling that side body stretch. Bring your nose to your knee. Inhale, walks us back to the center. Exhale, over to the right diagonal. Inhale, come back to the center. And then exhale. We walk our hands back up. We're going to come to a seated position with our knees up, feet on the floor. So we're going to do this one last core challenge that I think I did with you guys last week, just sort of holding a boat pose before we come down onto our back. Okay? So you want to find a nice flat position on your carpet, on your mat. You're going to pull those abs in. So you're sort of going to round your spine, your low back. Okay? Belly button pulls in. Your shoulders are down, your chest stays lifted. We're going to lift our legs and balance. So lift them off the floor. You can have your hands right underneath your knees here, but keep your shoulders down. Okay, so you can hold this here. It's sort of our level 1. And if that's even a little too much, you can just keep your feet on the floor. So we're going to add layers. Okay, so holding this here. Shoulders down, chest lifted, so you can get that breath. Pulling those abs in. Okay, this need a little extra challenge. Arms out by your side, palms up. So now we're no longer holding on underneath our knees. Every layer gets a little harder, so you choose what works for you. Little extra challenge. Maybe you straighten those legs. Ooh, I feel that. And those abs. And maybe just try it for a breath or 2. Okay, last challenge, we go in and out and add some movement. So as we inhale, we lower, we straighten our legs. Exhale, we lift back up. Again, just an option. Inhale, you gotta pull those abs in, and exhale. So working wherever you can for about 8 more counts. 8, and exhale. 7, and exhale. I'll do a couple modifications. 6, and exhale. 5, so if it's your first time, just follow me. Exhale, we have 4, pull those abs in. We have 3, we got 2 more counts. 2, Last one. Inhale, exhale, and then go ahead and release and fold forward. Great job, guys. We're gonna come into a nice butterfly stretch for those hips. So soles of the feet together, those knees fall out to the side. Take a nice inhale, and then exhale. Sort of nestle yourself down. You can use your arms to push down on the legs. But keep your neck long here. We don't wanna roll too far forward and come into a ball. So you still want to keep that chest lifted. One more breath. And then slowly bring those knees back together. And now we're going to lower all the way down. Onto our back, nice and slow. Keeping the feet on the floor, windshield wiper the legs first. Just dropping those legs from side to side. All right, so feet are about hip distance, arms down by our side. We're gonna take an inhale here and exhale. We're gonna press up into a nice bridge. So slowly lifting up. Inhale, we lower, and exhale, we lift. So we're gonna do a couple bridges to end here. Inhale, we lower. I want you to imagine you're peeling your spine off the mat as you exhale and lift up into that bridge. One more time, inhale, lower. Exhale, we're gonna stay extended in this bridge. So feel free to interlace those hands underneath. Maybe roll your arms under a little bit to open up through the chest. You can also grab a towel or a pillow and find a supported bridge and just sort of relax your hips on it like I am here. So we're gonna hold this for a couple breaths. So I'm in my supported, but maybe you're taking those arms underneath and lifting up a little bit higher. So let's hold for about 2 more breaths. Really pressing those feet into the floor. Lifting up, 1 more breath, even if it's a little uncomfortable. And then slowly, slowly lower back down 1 vertebrae at a time. Nice and slow. Let's go ahead and hug those knees into the chest. Rock side to side. Maybe making little circles here. We'll find a happy baby to end as our last stretch, just to really get into our back. So go ahead and reach for your feet, your toes, outsides of your feet, and maybe kick those legs up. Maybe you rock a little bit side to side. You should feel your back flatten here, and that should feel really good. And then when you're ready, just slowly lower those legs down. And just close your eyes here for a few moments as we end. Maybe find a full Shavasana. You can extend those legs out. Maybe arms come overhead. So really whatever is comfortable for you. Just for a couple of breaths here as we end together. Just focusing in on your breath and your breathing. And then slowly start to move your head from side to side. Start to bend those knees back in. And hug your knees into your chest for one last time. Circle your ankles here and wiggle those toes. And then slowly roll over to one side. And gently press yourself up to find a comfortable seated position as we end class together. So whatever is comfortable for you. And as we inhale together, we're going to reach those arms all the way up. And as we exhale, we're going to bring our palms together, lower them down to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment and thank yourself for making the time for you this lovely Friday morning. The light in me honors the light in you. And we will say namaste to one another. Namaste. We're all done. Thank you guys so much for coming. As always, it is a pleasure having you in class. Please feel free to unmute yourselves. Feedback, comments, always welcome, or you can type it in the chat box. In about 10 minutes, we're gonna have coffee talk. So you guys can stay on the line if you'd like. Tell me what your favorite pumpkin thing is. Maybe it's everything like me.
Pumpkin. Have a good weekend.
You too, Margie. Wait, did someone say pumpkin something? I heard
pumpkin spice latte.
Oh, yeah, there we go. It's Joanne, right? Yeah, there we go.
Great weekend.
Here's our entryway.
Oh, Bill, it's so cute. Did your wife do that?
Oh, well.